And so what if we really believe that Yahweh has a son? That son takes Yahweh's only son on the earth, one made after the pattern of the other, and we both, Yahweh's son in heaven and Yahweh's son on earth, are like the Melachim, who can't die, who are incorruptible, who are immortal. For it is written in Philippians 1:29, Yahweh will take this vile, corruptible body and fashion it like unto his glorious body, by the power through which he is able to work all things unto himself. So when all is done, and the material moves forward, and the spiritual moves backward, Yahweh's son Yahshua, the Malachim, the Tahorim, the clean angels, and the nation of Israel will all be Yahweh's son. All in the Son in all, I in him, you in him, we in him, and you in us. People read that and they go, what is he talking about? You and me, I and you, who's on first, who's on second? I'm in you, you're in me, let's dance, dun dun dun, ballroom dancing is pagan. You can't do that anymore. I and you and me. What he means was everything Yahweh touches is destined to be made after the original. He's going to take the pattern, mold it, shape it, fashion it. For I went down to the potter's house, and I beheld the potter. He didn't cast away the clay, though it was marred. He worked and molded and worked and molded and worked and molded until he took that same clay and made that same clay, O house of Israel, into another vessel. Son of man, go down to the potter's house. That's us, Israel. Yahweh says, not only are you the clay on the wheel, you're also checking out what Yahweh is doing to that vessel. If we are Israel, let's get serious here. If we are Yisrael, Yahweh has a son in heaven, because we've got to be patterned after something. Hello? And we are patterned after the Adam Kadmon, Adam and Eve, Adam and Chava. We're patterned after the primordial celestial Adam. Well, I wonder who that would be.
Come on, Rabbi, you got it. Yahshua.
We're not made in the Father's image because we will die. Papa never died. We are made in the Son's image because the Son did die. But he picked up his immortality on the other side of the grave. You will pick up your immortality. We do not teach, because Scripture does not teach, the immortality of the soul. But it does teach that we get... that we get to put on immortality. We get to put it on. We were not immortal, because if we were, we wouldn't need to put it on through the gift of eternal life. I'm going to read you a few things. Please forgive me. I'm not good at this. I'm more of an improviser. You know what means improvisation? Huh? Not provision, improvision. Okay. Listen to this. The mystics of Judaism teach the following: that in the spiritually active world, there are additional angelic beings, or melachim, who serve Metatron. There exist thrones of mighty ones, brilliant ones, referred to as chashmalim, called sons of Elohim. So the brilliant ones in heaven, we just talked about that in what? Bereshit, are called not just melachim, but chashmalim. You know, in Hebraic thought and culture, when we eat something that tastes very good, chashmal, it's good. They're brilliant ones, lightened ones, who serve. Amen. Amen. So this Yahshua is Metatron, and the angels are B'nai Elohim. Now, why do I use the sages as confirmation? Because according to the word of Yahweh, the Melachim are what? Called sons of Elohim. Amen. That's where we're headed. To be like the Melachim. Chashmalim. In Jewish and Hebraic thought, listen, this is amazing, and every Jew should know this, but they don't know it, and those who don't know it need to know it, and those who do know it, they don't really teach it, and you'll see why. How many are with me? Tov. In Hebraic thought, there are two who are called tzaddik. What is tzaddik? Righteous. Tov. Yosef above and Benjamin below. The two houses. Yosef above, Benjamin below. The righteous one above is considered, take notes on this, the higher tzaddik. Thus Israel below is called the lower tzaddik. What does tzaddik mean? Righteous one. Isn't that neat? So Yahweh's Son in heaven, in Hebraic thought, even in unregenerate Jewish Israel, that Yahweh has a righteous one, the middle pillar in heaven, known as the Ben Elohim, or the higher tzaddik. Hello? And then, since everything on earth is made according to Exodus 25:9, 25:40, then if there is, this is Jewish thought now, not just biblical thought, if there is a higher tzaddik, there has to be a, where have we read that before? Ivrim and Shemot. Amen? Tov. And so the higher tzaddik, the lower tzaddik, is patterned after the higher tzaddik. The lower tzaddik is understood to be like Benjamin, because the higher tzaddik, listen to this, is Yosef, who is Yeshua, Mashiach ben Yosef, who fed his brothers in Mitzrayim. So the higher tzaddik, Yahweh's Son, feeds the earthly son, not just bread, physical bread, but spiritual manna as well. So who rained down manna in the wilderness in Shemot 16? The higher tzaddik, or the righteous tzaddik, or the young man, Metatron, the guardian of Israel, the Malach Yahweh who led Israel in the Bamidbar, is the one who rained down, because he is the son, he is the higher righteous one who rains down provision. So because Yosef provided for his brothers, the higher tzaddik is Yosef, the lower tzaddik is called Benjamin or Yehudah. So we see, if we take if we take the higher tzaddik and combine that with a lower tzaddik, we get Kol Yisrael. Go ahead and be quiet. I'll just wait for you to make some noise because I need some water anyway. If we take the higher tzaddik and we combine that with the lower tzaddik, we get Kol Yisrael, otherwise known as Yosef and Yehudah Benjamin. So the very fact that in Hebraic thought there is a higher and a lower tzaddik is another indication that the Son of Yahweh is divided into two houses, into the physical and into the esoteric. Hello? Into the earthly and into the heavenly. Both, listen, the higher who feeds the lower. Isn't that true? When was the last time you fed Yeshua? Can I see your hand, please? When was the last time you fed Yeshua the bread of life? Or anything that has to do with life? Can we be honest? Most of us, the only thing we ever feed Yeshua are headaches. The only thing we ever feed Yeshua are tzoros, me included, all of us. All right? Let's be honest. Amen? So it is the higher son feeding the patterned son everything that pertains to Chaim and Kedusha. Or as King James says, everything that pertains to life and godliness, glory to God. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Let me read you this. The theme of this conference is, Israel is my firstborn. Say to Pharaoh, let my son go. We declare in Kansas City, Missouri, to the four corners of the earth, to the Arba Kanfot Haaretz, the four winds of the earth, the four wings of the earth, the time is at hand. Websites will not stop this movement. Critics will not stop this movement. Editorials will not stop this movement. Magazines will not stop this movement. Liars and slanderers and gossipers will not stop this movement. This is ordained by Yahweh for his people, because if the Son of Yahweh in heaven is whole, if he is the hired tzaddik, and he is every whit whole, it is Yahweh's goal, destiny, purpose, and predetermined plan to make the lower tzaddik equally whole to the upper tzaddik. Somebody give praise in the house of Yahweh. Hallelujah. Thank Yahweh. Ted, give me a new plastic cup, please. A blue one. I had to get Ted into this message because those of you who get the video club, you know what that's all about. It's not a weekly message without at least one call for Ted. My good brother. Praise Yahweh for Ted. Oh man, love it. I love it. A true event, a true event. Okay. So according to Hebraic thought, the image of the Son of Elohim goes to the mystical Son, I keep the same anointing. I want to make sure it's blue. Go figure this rabbi out. Can't be plastic, it's got to be blue. So the earthly Son is divinely chosen to be an instrument of the Torah and the light of the world, because the earthly Son, like the moon, reflects the light of the higher tzaddik. So the lower tzaddik is called to reflect the light of the higher tzaddik. Isn't that what Christianity teaches? Let your light shine before men, that when they see your mitzvot, they'll glorify your Father who is in heaven.
Oh, yeah.
Mitzvot? Yeah, like keeping kosher. Yeah, like giving loans to Israel interest-free, getting your brothers, giving them loans and don't charge them interest. Yeah, what a mean Yahweh.
Come on, Rabbi.
So we are to reflect, and they say there's no grace in the Torah. Anybody can give me a loan without interest, that's grace. You kill my mama, I kill your mama, it was an accident. You can go live in one of the 6 cities of refuge, 3 on each side of the Yarden, and live out the rest of your days untouched and undefiled by the avenger of blood. Don't tell me there's no grace in the Torah. You need to grow up in your faith and be like Yeshua and not like your last pastor.
Come on!
Baruch Hashem Yahweh. A mystical son, the mystical son, is linked to the Sephirotic attribute of Tiferet, and the higher tzaddik in Judaism, listen, is known as the Son or the living Torah. I don't understand how a Jewish person can't see that Yeshua is the word of Yahweh, the living Torah. In Hebraic thought, in the Sod level, turn to your neighbor and say Sod level. On the deepest level of Hebraic interpretation, the higher tzaddik is a shining attribute of Yahweh, known as the mystical heavenly Son, known as Tiferet, or the beautiful, true manifestation of Yahweh's living Torah in heaven. So why did Yahweh have to give Torah to the people of Israel? Because his Son carried the living Torah in heaven. Hello, don't just think Yahweh decided, you know something? These are a bunch of handsome guys. And I think I'm going to give them a scroll because I want to liven up their synagogue service. It was Yeshua walking before the Father as the living scroll. Hello. In Hebraic thought, the higher tzaddik is the living scroll, and Yahweh's Son, therefore Yahweh's earthly Son, or the lower tzaddik, must also have some kind of a instruction scroll. Is anyone enjoying? Isn't this better than roller derby? My mama weaned me on professional wrestling. Lucha libre profesional. Now I'm wrestling now, that's for sure. I got a couple of Andrew the Giants that I've pinned down in the last few months. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. That's the Ephesians 6 kind of wrestling league. I mean, know what I'm talking about. Someone says to you, well, if you're Israel, what league are you in? I belong to the Ephesians 6 wrestling league. Baruch Hashem Yah. Where are we now? Listen to this. According to our scholars, our sages, here's what they say about the hired tzaddik. The Holy One, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, now listen to this. Blessed be He, has a son. This is in the Zohar, brothers and sisters. Is it the word of Yahweh? No, but I can care less. It's a Jewish document. And it's an ancient Jewish document. And guess what? It doesn't contradict the word of Yahweh, it confirms the word of Yahweh. Amen. The Zohar says Yahweh has a son. I'm Jewish. I don't care. If you're really Jewish, you'll believe what the Jewish authors said. I know I'm stepping on somebody's toes tonight, but it's because I love you. I don't know if I'll get you again. I don't know if I'm going to chase you away or I might forget you again. I don't know. Oh man, I got to get you down to Miami Beach for some lessons. I got to get you cued in. He is, listen to this. The Son of Yahweh is a great and mighty tree. Hello? It's Chayimi. כמה חזיקי בה וכוחיה מאושר דרכיה תחנוה בכל נתיבותיה שלום השיבנו יהוה la. Where's the worship team? Alright, so the son or the hired tzaddik is said to be a great mighty tree whose head reaches heaven. That's right, and that's why Shlomo wrote Proverbs 34. Who created the ends of the earth? Yahweh and Yeshua. Amen? Why? He is a tree of life, and his roots reach his head reaches the heaven. Where does our Rosh Pinah live? Does our cornerstone live on Mount Moriah now? No. Where is Evan Ma'asu Habonim Haitala Rosh Pinah? The stone that the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone. Where is the Rosh Pinah? Well, if there was let's go back to lesson 1. If there was an earthly Rosh Pinah, there had to be a heavenly Rosh Pinah, and the Jewish sages teach that the greater tzaddik, or the son of heaven, after whom the earthly son, Israel, is created, is the tree whose head always reaches and abides in heaven. Now, if this doesn't blow your mind, I don't know what will. All right? I don't know what you're looking for. I don't know what else you're looking for. This is from the Word, from the Jewish sages, and it is fresh, it is true, it is eternal, and because you confess that you are a living, real person, that means Yahweh has a son.
Come on, Rabbi.
Hello? The fact that you're here tonight proves that Yahweh, and claim to be Ephraim or Yehudah, claims that Yahweh, because you are patterned after the Adam Kodman or the hired Tzaddik. In the beginning, Elohim made man in his image, not Papa's image. You couldn't be in Papa's image. He is the Ein Sof, the unknowable, undescribable, unattributable. You cannot describe him or give him attributes or characteristics, because if you could, he wouldn't be the Ein Sof. Okay? So you're not made in the Father's image, you're made in the Son's image. And you'll be regathered in the Son's image and immortalized in the Son's image at the return of Yeshua, at the resurrection of the righteous dead, not the pre, mid, post-mortem, postpartum rapture. Turn to your neighbor and say, I know I don't believe in no rapture. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Toda Rabba Yahweh. Listen, the son or the hired tzaddik, listen to this, you ready? Is said, according to Malachi 4:2, our sages of blessed memory, that the coming Moshiach will arrive with kenafot, or wings on his tzitzit, or corners, kenafot, because, listen, he will wear the tzitzit because the Son in heaven is clothed with his garment of light. You know why? You know why we wear tzitzit? Yeah, we wake up one day and go, oh, Regis Philbin's not on today. I think I'm going to give him tzitzit.
Come on, Rabbi.
There's a purpose and a reason for everything. If you have kinafot and you have tzitzit, then the higher tzaddik is clothed in them 24/7. Go ahead. And the rabbis knew that the higher tzaddik has this symbolic garment on him as his head reaches into the heavens. I'm enjoying this. How about yourself? Good stuff, huh? Baruch Hashem, now I told you. Man. But there's more. There is more. Most Jewish mystical writers attribute the Son of Heaven, or the higher tzaddik, to Israel, and rightfully so because Torah teaches that. Israel is my son. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Daniel Hanan Mateo, who wrote the introduction to the work Zohar, the Book of Enlightenment, here's what he said. Listen to this. This has been around before you were born, all right? We didn't discover this stuff. We just researched it. Are you with me? Are we